So as some of you may know, I'm currently building a little X58 based system, and in general I just like to put RGB in PCs. I'm in my mid 30s, but I still like that kind of thing. What can I say? Now one thing I was doing is doing the usual cruise through Amazon and eBay, and I stumbled across this little beauty, which as you can see it's currently on offer for £10.19. I paid the full price of a whopping £11.99, and so for £12 I was curious to see exactly what an RGB kit would be like in real life. So I obviously ordered it, it's now arrived, and we're going to take a look and see exactly what you can get for £12. Yeah, I'll put a link in the description if this is something you may want to buy. I can't really vouch for how much stock this particular seller has. If we take a look at their shop, you can see they do tend to deal with this kind of thing. They've got the same thing kind of listed over and over, so I presume stock is quite good, if it's something you're interested in anyway. Having a quick look at their feedback, I would suggest maybe to lower your expectations. We have seen a couple of bad things here, where they're saying it's not as described. One of the LEDs didn't last that long. Yeah, it's going to be obviously a little bit of a risk, but I think for the price anyway, you can't go wrong. It's got to be worth a gamble. So let's take a look. Hi everyone, right, so we're going to unbox these cheap RGB kit, see what we're dealing with. Now the first thing you'll notice, the packaging it comes in is pretty much nondescript, which I think for the price is totally acceptable. I don't think for the money you'd expect the bells and whistles of one of the more premium kits. On the box we've got just one sticker, obviously made in China, which is nice and surprising. Dongwon digital light, blah blah blah, who cares? To be honest, we just want to make sure that what we've got in there is what we've ordered, and we'll plug them in and make sure they actually work and look good. So let's crack it open. Okay, so unsurprisingly, given the small box, it's all kind of shoved in there, but that's absolutely fine. We've got a leaflet which appears to just be some general instructions. Although I'm not sure you'd really call them that, but there you go. We've got a pack of cable ties, which is actually quite useful regardless. We've got two fans, the nice DS branding on there, which is wonderful. We'll see whether these are actually like, but they feel quite good quality. I've used quite a lot of fans in the past. They've got the rubber or foam padding to reduce vibrations, which is what you want. Just pull these out of here. Okay, looks like they come kind of pre-wired, so we've got the two cables coming off each fan, obviously one for power. That power is actually already connected to a coupler, and these, again, this does feel like a good quality connection. I was expecting really bare bones stuff, but that actually feels quite substantial. It's braided and things, which you know, I know it's something daft, but for the money, I'm impressed so far, provided they work. So yeah, let's pull those out. We've got our two magnetic RGB strips here, they're kind of attached to one another, as you can see. And in keeping with the fans, these are actually pre-attached to the RGB controller, which is nothing fancy. You know, you've probably seen something like this a million times before. We've obviously got the connections that which will go to the fans. We've got the main controller there with its RF antenna there. It's got the sticky back already on there as well, which, you know, it's utilitarian, but hell, for the money, so long as this actually functions, I'm blown away. We've got a SATA to power connector there, which is quite useful. I've seen a few of these kits where they come with a Molex connection, which, you know, even if we are dealing with second-hand stuff, that's a more useful connection as far as I can see. We've got two sets of screws, which is understandable for the fans, and finally we've got the usual controller for RGB, which you've no doubt seen 1,000 times before. I know I've already got a bunch of these from the lights behind my desk, etc. So far, from what we've got, it's certainly no frills, but who cares for the money, as long as this functions as I expect it will. I think you can't really go wrong for £12 or less, but let's see. Okay, so here it is, installed. I've gone for the 2 fans in the front of the case. I've got one of the RGB strips there and another one just across the top here. If anyone's interested, that's actually one of the Game Max 240V Iceberg, I think it's called. All-in-one cooler. And yeah, I should say ignore the SSD drive. This is actually just kind of in the midst of being finished. For anyone interested, this machine is an X58 build with a an X58 based build with a X5675 processor, which I'm just finishing up now. For more information on that, check out my other videos. I've got the remote control here, which everything does as it should. So change all the colours out as you would want. If you want crazy disco mode, that's fine too. Let's see here. The breathing mode. And so on. I think it looks pretty damn wicked, to be honest with you. For the money, I don't think you can complain at all. Very impressed, and certainly able to make any budget system, or any system really, just come to life if you're into this kind of thing, which I know fewer and fewer people are. Let's pop the side of the case on and see what it looks like when it's complete. So, my final thoughts on this, is it worth it? Well, I think it's pretty obvious. I'm going to say yes. Whether or not it's for your own system, something you want to just put a bit of colour into on the cheap, then brilliant, absolutely you should go for it. If on the other side of things, if you're a hustler like me and you've got some systems on the go and you want to give them something that may appeal to gamers, or maybe parents buying them for the kids or kids themselves, you know, anything of that nature, just something to make your machine stand out, for £12 you really can't go wrong. Whether or not that was for 2 fairly decent fans by the feel of it, that's a good price to pay anyway. The fact that you get the fans included together with the RGB strips, etc, etc, I really don't think you can go wrong. Now I will say, as far as reliability goes, this isn't actually the first time I've tried these. I have actually got the set going in my main PC, which is soon to be replaced by this, possibly, but more on that in my next video. And I've had them in for, it's got to be at least a couple of months now, and they've been absolutely fine with no problems. And it's just something I wanted to raise awareness of. I know that my channel is tiny and not many people will watch this, but if you happen to see this and they're still available on eBay for the price, you cannot go wrong. So they definitely get my thumbs up. Yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you are able to pick these up, and if you do and you're enjoying them, then let me know. I'd love to hear from you. If you've got any comments on the video, whether you like it or not, do let me know. I appreciate every single one of you that watch this. I know my tiny little channel is nothing at the moment, but maybe if I keep going, things might grow, especially if you guys are enjoying what I'm doing. Anyway, thanks for watching. Keep hustling, guys.